Show with a weekly deal drop that just launched this morning at 7 a.m. A spiny oyster shell with turquoise or a lapis and turquoise cuff. Stamped 925 sterling silver. There's a few pieces that I'm gonna build upon, including earrings and a ring and a pendant. But first and foremost, you may be saying, well, where is Jay? Where is he? He is actually in the south of England right now, where it is, I believe, the middle of the night. Mr. Jay King, Jay, are you there?
I'm kind of here. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm here for you, my
Jay,
mate.
Did you have a nap? Did you go to sleep? Did you just wake up? How are you staying so fresh?
Well, I just got back I went to 14 different countries. I've been traveling for the last 3.5 weeks. So a couple of countries I've never even been to before, which is kind of unique. But yeah, it's been an interesting month. Getting more interesting by the minute.
Jay, I want to hear about all these countries as we go through our show tonight. And obviously, we are thrilled that you're doing this. Jay, you know, all the pieces are all on sale, including this weekly deal drop. Jay, you talk about going to all the countries in the world. Where do we even begin with this? It's a classic, premium, simple bracelet cuff with beautiful gemstones, right?
Yeah, you know, I actually designed this. This is kind of old school. It goes back to designs that I've done for galleries in the past when I first started out. And I was looking at this and I was thinking, you know what? I haven't really done anything like this in a long, long time. And we've had such a huge response to the look. People are just crazy. In fact, you know, it's really funny. I wore these. In fact, I'm wearing 2 of them together right now on my wrist.
Oh,
wow. When I was on my trip. And it was really funny how many people, I could have sold a bunch of these. There were so many people that, you know, like I'd just be out to dinner and just have them on, you know, you just forget that you're wearing them. You know, you can wear these singly, you can buy multiples and pair them up together if you want. We're offering them in 2 great materials. The one thing that they have several things in common. That number one, they're all completely hand done from sheet material. So that means that these cuffs, they're not cast. In fact, if you cast something like this, you'll have nothing but nightmares. These are all individually handcrafted, hand done from sheet material. And then all the inlays on this are precision inlays. I mean, this is the kind of work that, you know, that our artists can do. This is all, when I say hand done, handcrafted, there is no machine involved in this. These are really painstakingly created from scratch, from the raw materials. We've got the thing that they have in common, you can see in both the lapis version and the spiny oyster version. The turquoise is this amazing Campitos material. It's just so unique and so different. That real high blue. And this material also, this material, all the turquoises come out of our private collection. You know, this material just not available on any market. In fact, even with us, we're getting down to the dribbles and drabs. I've got some smaller pieces left. And then when the Campitos is gone, it's gone. I mean, you know, we've been working it for probably, the last 7 or 8 years. We got the last 2 loads of Campitos blue ice, which is what this is, that came out of the mining area. There were only 2 mines that had that material. But these are so unique, they're so different, and it's just that splash of color. You can pop it on. This is good for anybody. I would wear this. In fact, like I said, I wore it on my trip. Anybody can wear this, man, woman, anybody. It is just so cool. It's just that way to really just add that splash of color to your day.
Well, I can tell you we're seeing a big response to both, but there is one clear winner, and that is going to be the Lapis and the Turquoise. Lapis and Turquoise is #1 right now. I do have the ring available in all sizes, 5 through 10. And of course, you see the earrings in the background. I was kind of showing a little bit that beautiful pendant that is there as well. Incidentally, the pendant is on a brand new necklace that Jay is launching tonight, which I'm excited for you to see. So there's really some wonderful things in store. Things that maybe you've never seen before. A lot of you asking about the Hubei, and I apologize, I didn't mean to create such a stir with it, but it's 11 o'clock. Just to make it fair for everybody, 11 p.m. sharp for the Hubei necklace. The Tahitian pearl is going to be at the end of this hour for those that are wanting that. It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle, Jay, when you see it. I mean, the spiny oyster, I love the image you just saw of the pendant. But when you see the way the gemstones are placed, like in the ring and in the earring, it's just a wonderful work of art.
Well, okay, so the ring and the earring that you're looking at, that's actually a very special, unique art. It's called cornrow inlay. And the reason they call it cornrow, it's not only intricate, but it's three-dimensional. So it's not just flat inlay. Almost anybody can do flat inlay, or a lot of the manufacturers can do it. The cornrow is something that is a skill that goes back to the early 50s. I learned it from Native American artists. That's where I actually learned how to do it. And it's something that's very rarely done now. You only see it in truly gallery pieces. If you look at the cuff, though, I think that that's really interesting what you just did. If you go sideways on it, Adam, do you see how these aren't, I mean, these aren't little teeny thin pieces of lapis or turquoise. Look at the size of this material. And think about the difficulty in this. How can you can't do that with a machine? That all has to be hand done. Look how tight those are. Look how they're set in there. Every one of us individually hand set. Another thing on this is we have pressure points. When I first started out making designs, one of the reasons that I got in really got into buying a lot of different materials. One of the things that got me started on finding new and unique and unusual materials was the fact that that people, when they used to design these, they used to use cast bracelets, right? When you have a cast structure, it's so strong that it's not malleable at all. And what would happen is somebody would adjust their cuff just a little too tight, and you'd hear the popping sound. And so all the inlays would fall out of it, or some of the inlays would fall out of it. And so, and then of course they lost the piece. They had no way of giving it to us to reset. So we had to find matching materials so that we could repair their cuff bracelets. So I learned a lot from that. And so when I made mine, and when I designed all of my cuff bracelets that had any kind of inlay in it, I did them all by hand with sheet material, so you got a little bit more malleability. But the way they're designed, you don't have to worry about these popping out.
Well, they look not only spectacular. Our lovely Aaron, who is with us tonight, modeling all of our fabulous pieces. The ring, nearly gone in a couple of the sizes, 9 and 10. Again, we'll give you all the details for the full collection, but maybe you just want that beautiful cuff. It is stunning because it's so wearable. It's sleek and sophisticated. It has the pops of color, and it has something that truly has that precious feel to it. Again, it's hard to choose spiny oyster and turquoise or lapis and turquoise. I'm a big fan of the lighter and the darker of the two blues there. I think they look so nice together. But at the same time, I like the brightness of that spiny oyster in the orange. The Tahitian pearl necklace, a few of you are ordering based on hsn.com and perhaps from the preview. I'll show it to you again in case you are going to bed early tonight. We're scheduled to do it at the end of this hour. The Hubei is at 11 p.m. Again, I'll try and do my best to answer all the questions that come through to our teams, but there's obviously a lot of excitement around those two pieces. Jay, of all the countries that you just visited, you said you'd visited maybe a couple that you'd never been to before?
Yeah, one of them was Romania. Oh. Have you ever been to Romania?
No, what was it like?
it was really funny. It was kind of like new and old. I went to Dracula's castle, so.
Did you see? Did you meet him?
I tried to, but I was more on a mission to find out what the real story was. And it's really interesting if you look up the history of it. It was, even back then, the media played so much in, it was an English writer who actually wrote the story. He wrote the book of Dracula and made Dracula famous. He was actually a priest.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was very interesting. But Romania, like it was like going back in time, because there were some areas like you would just drive on the highway, all of a sudden you'd make a bend and there'd be a whole family in a horse-drawn wagon that was kind of like they had made just in the middle of the road, as well as horse herds, cows, all kinds of interesting little things that we had happen. It was really unbelievable, and the country's just absolutely beautiful. But they're just now kind of getting open to tourism, and it was just a real fun experience.
That's amazing, Jay. What an exciting adventure. Well, we're going to hear more from Jay's travels. Jay, you said what, 14? Was it 14 countries in 2 weeks?
14. Yeah, 14 in 3 weeks, 14 countries.
That is crazy. I can't even imagine, Jay. That's amazing. Is that a record for you?
I don't know if it's a record, but that's a lot of countries in 3 weeks.
I can barely get out of bed in the morning.
It's really interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. A lot of them I'd already been to and visited in the past, but yeah, it's good to get out and start, kind of traveling and stuff. This was kind of business and pleasure. It was a combination of two. So just a lot of fun, a lot of things, it's always interesting, to tell you the truth, even to see what other artists are doing in different countries. And I got to tell you, I think we're in the game. Sometimes I get inspired, but I have to tell you, I think that yeah, we're competitive in the world. I think we would shock them.
Well, we're excited to do our weekly deal drop. As we wrap this on up, I encourage you to order whichever one you want, maybe the spiny oyster and the turquoise, or the lapis and the turquoise. I was obviously showcasing some of these other pieces that are partner pieces, but by all means would work independently as well. So we'll do lapis first. So the lapis collection is a little bit different to the spiny oyster collection. For example, the